Hello, Internetians. My name is Josh, a good player, and I am your coach of the West Virginia Miniors. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Ultimate Battle League. I got it right. For once. We're here for season number 4. I had to look at the top of the screen to see what season number was. Oh, Lord. Well, we're in for a good season, aren't we? Welcome to my draft analysis for Season 4 of the Ultimate Battle League. I am your coach, like I said, of the West Virginia Miniors. Logo will appear above me shortly. But, by shortly, I mean whenever I decide to change the slide. But we're here for another season of the UBL. I was invited back for this season, which I'm, of course, very happy to be here. Love the UBL, had a lot of fun last season, and looking to have just as much fun this season, except more, because I plan on winning, of course. So, UBL is going to be a pre-home Wi-Fi league this season, and I'm really excited for it because I got a Bowland team, which we're going to go over here in a second. But quick things just to wrap up, of course. Make sure you go check out all the UBL coaches that are down in the description below, as well as check out the UBL Twitter, Discord, and all the other links that will be in the description below, as well as click on the links to any artists that I decide to link down there, because I'm pretty sure I'll have at least Bill's link down there, hopefully, as Bill's the one who made my West Virginia Miniors logo. So, without further ado, let's talk about the draft. So the draft is going to be a points-based kind of tier/points-based draft. You get 1,000 points. Each tier is worth so many points. I believe it went from 200 all the way down to 40 or 20. I can't remember which. It'd be helpful if I had that pulled up, wouldn't it? I always wondered what I should have over here. It's not like you guys need to see anything. Oh, look, that's my week 1. I should probably... Oh, yeah, I gotta finish the game. Huh. Yeah, I never finished the game. I need to finish the game. It's also going to be a very short season. It's going to be 7 weeks plus playoffs. Split into 2 draft pools, split into 2 conferences. So, only 3 out of 8 will be making playoffs. With the top one, of course, making a bye. So I got to make sure I stay on top of the things and, win my games, etc. But I think that's definitely possible. Tier list. Yeah, 200 all the way down to 20. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tiers. Tier 200, of course, being just Darmanitan Galarian form. Because, broken Mon. Banned Mons were Aegislash, and of course all the legendaries from the games. That's about it. Of course, anything that was post-home or all that kind of stuff is not allowed. So stuff like Libero Cinderace is not allowed. Sandrush Dracozolt and Dracovish is not allowed, etc. But without further ado, let's get into it. I had pick number 5 overall in my pool of 8 people. And the obvious stuff, of course, went before me. I don't remember exactly what. Let me see if I can find it. Is it this one? Yeah! Okay, so the 4 other things that went before me were Darmanitan, obviously Dragapult, obviously Hydreigon, completely no surprise, and then Ferrothorn, which was a little shocking. But there's still a lot of good stuff that did not end up going, and I thought about a lot of things, hoping that one of them, something would make it back to me. Because there was such a small draft, I was hoping that some things would go unnoticed. But unfortunately, the one thing that I wanted to grab round 1, but decided to hold off until round 2, did get sniped, being Corviknight. But I did manage to get one specific Mon that I still, even in Gen 8, will hold to be one of the highest tiered Mons, and one of the best Mons in general in the format. So for round 1, we ended up with, is it this one? Yeah, it's Mew! I love Mew. Mew is obviously, of course, one of the best Pokemon in the format ever since draft format was made. By the way, shout out to this logo. We're rocking with the blue one this time. But Mew is, of course, the most versatile Mon in the game. Gets every TM, every TR, every tutor, just about any move that you could ever think that you would need on a Mew, except, unfortunately, because it is pre-home, it does not get recovery. So it's going to be hindered by that. But I do think that I built a team. I didn't do bad. I forgot what I drafted. All I remember was drafting Mew. Mirrored. Drafting Mew, and that was it. And I cannot remember my team, because the draft happened it ended like 2 weeks ago, and I completely forgot everything with all the drafts going on. Yeah, so I looked at my team, I was like, hey man, not bad. Look at past me go. But yeah, I wanted Mew. I knew that without a doubt I was going to focus on my round 1 first, and then work, see what I was going to do after that. I had an idea, of course, like I said, I had an idea of what I wanted round 2 in Corviknight, but that unfortunately went 2 picks later. But yeah, Mew's amazing. It's a setup sweeper, a nasty plot, Dragon Dance now, Swords Dance. It gets Psychic Fangs, which is better than Zen Headbutt in both accuracy and power, of course. You have stuff like Calm Mind, Bulk Up, and then you have Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rock. I think it gets Defog. I'm not sure. It might not. It doesn't. I don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't. So, it does everything you need it to. And I was really happy getting this. Of course, I would have liked something else, like Ferrothorn, like Dragapult or Darmanitan, but without being one of the top 2 spots, that's obviously not going to happen. Those mons going first is absolutely no surprise, and I'm not shocked or hurt in any way of not getting them. I obviously wasn't going to. But after I got Mew, I went with my standard how to draft around Mew plan, which is draft things that can do what Mew does. So I also like to mention that I did keep a lot of things in mind. When I did this draft, I did check out the points a lot in advance and make sure I noted any very good value that I found. Anything that I thought was extremely good value, I kept my eye on and made sure that I was going to get it. Because some of these mons being where they are is absolutely insane to me. So I'm really happy with some of the things I got. So, when you want something like Mew, and like I said, if you ever draft Mew, the first thing you should always worry about is making sure you get things that can do what Mew does, so that it's not always locked into the same thing. Right? You want something that can resist fighting. You want something that can defog, that can set hazards, that can pivot, that can set up. You want to make sure all your bases are covered so that Mew is as free as possible. So, I can't remember if Mew gets defogged. I don't think it does. But in case it does, I made sure to get another defogger, and one of the best defoggers in this generation being Mandibuzz. Base 80 speed for something as bulky as Mandibuzz is amazing, especially in a gen where speed is so low. We have never had a gen that is this slow, except for like Gen 1 or 2. In Draft League format, we have definitely not. So speed is a lot different than normal. I still like having some good speed because, speed's really, really good. But, speed is atrocious. Like, something like Mandibuzz is now all of a sudden really, really fast, instead of just being pretty mediocre to okay. So, really glad to have something this fast, especially with Defog, especially being as fat as Mandibuzz is. Mandibuzz is easily one of the best mons in the format right about now. Just being able to do just anything you could really imagine. Why did I wait on that next mon? Just being able to do anything from a defensive standpoint. It can taunt, it can be a stall breaker, it can shut down walls, it can stop offense, because offense, aren't going to be able to always break something like Mandibuzz. It's just a really good mon overall in general. I love having Mandibuzz. I think it's extremely, extremely good. And we're going to move on to our next pick. So on our next pick, one of the main mons that I wanted, Run and Wash, ended up going the very next pick. And I didn't think anything else that I was really too worried about went. I did lose a Fairy and Sylveon, but I wasn't too worried about that. I had an idea what my Fairy's going to be. But it got back to me, and I was like, do I want to go ahead and grab this mod now? Or do I want to grab something like Seismitoad first? Seismitoad was something I was very heavily looking at, but once again, it got sniped from me 2 picks later. So, big shout out to your boy Vepsis for sniping everything from me. Corviknight, Conkeldurr, and Grimace. First 3 picks for him, first 3 snipes for him from me. Boy hit me good. But it's okay. After that, he didn't really get me too bad. But for my third pick, I really, like I said, I wanted something that can be an offensive sweeper. And in this format, with speed being as low as it, with speed tiers being so much lower than normal, and I mean so much lower, something like 110 is probably one of the top 10 mons in the format right now. Having something like this mon is all of a sudden amazing. I absolutely adore having Mimikyu. Mimikyu with 96 base speed is so incredible. So incredible. It's so fast in this format. 96 is really, really nice. Really, really, really nice. And Mimikyu, even though it got a nerf to its ability to disguise, it's still really good in my opinion. It still really does its job well as having that setup sweep option. And man, Ghost types have never been better. Ghost types are so good this generation. I am so happy with it. And yeah, it's really good. If you've ever watched the channel before, you know I've done really good work with Mimikyu and just in general. Very good mon, very good solid setup sweeper. If your team is not really, really prepared for it, you're going to get swept by it. It's just how it is, and it fits my play style perfectly. I love Mimikyu. I lost that until the next round, but there's a water type that I've been wanting to try out ever since the gen came out, and that is going to be my boy, Empoleon. I really like Empoleon. I especially like Empoleon because it has 120 base speed, which, like I said, is extremely fast in this format. Actually, I can tell you how fast it is in this format. Galar Dex Draft. It is 1, 2, that doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, that also doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, tied for top 10 fastest speeds. 110 is not the fastest speed. Holy shit, it's a lot slower than I thought it was, but still. It's extremely fast. It's extremely fast in this format. And water type is just always such a good offensive type. Not everyone always has these great water type switch-ins. There are going to be some, obviously, because people want to prepare for something like Dracovish and something else. What's also in a strong offensive water type? Tier list. What else is a strong offensive water type? There's, I don't know. Anyway, Gyarados. There's one. That's the first one I saw. But still, I really like Empoleon. I think it's like a baby Greninja, in all honesty. Like, I mean, a very baby Greninja. It obviously has a lot more special attack, but unfortunately does not have the Dark Stab, which would make it a lot better versus water types. But it's fast, it's strong, it has good Water, Ice, Dark coverage, which is always nice, and has access to U-turn. It doesn't have spikes, unfortunately, which would be a lot nicer, but, I mean, we take what we get. Where is it? What else does it have? Where are you? Empoleon. It doesn't get Sniper, but it does get Torrent, which is always good. It can even run a physical set. It's not really the best at running physical sets, but it does get stuff like Acrobatics. It does get General Stab. It gets Ice coverage. It gets, I think it gets Dark coverage. It gets Sucker Punch. Yeah. So it makes Life Orb could be a thing. It also gets access to Sword Stance, which is really cool. So you never know when that could pop up. Yeah. Overall, I think Empoleon is really, really nice. And then moving on to the next round, I ended up deciding. So I got speed. I got Mons that can just click choice specs moves and hit hard. I got setup sweepers. I got a defogger. I want to make sure that I end up with another. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not talking to my ass. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I want next. I want to make sure I have another a rabbit spinner, another hazard remover in general, because I don't want all the pressure to be on Mandibuzz every single week, because the Mandibuzz actually is the only. Yeah. Confirmed this time. I'm sticking to it. Mandibuzz is my only remover at this point, so I want something that can offer assistance to that. And I also ended up deciding on this, that I wanted Volturn, because Volturn's going to be really good for one of the mons that I noticed is really undervalued in this point system. So I wanted to make sure I had a whole bunch of Volturn. So I ended up with Serena. Serena is a really nice Pokemon, decent in this format. Again, the whole speed nerf thing is really, really good for Serena, because that 72 base speed all of a sudden looks a lot better. Gets really good, strong, powerful grass stabs. Can be kind of not the bulkiest, but it does have some decent bulk, which is always nice. Great attack and access to U-turn and Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin also getting the buff this generation is phenomenal for something like Serena, which with a +1 speed is all of a sudden a huge threat to an opponent. Gets decent coverage, grass, fighting, fairy, I think dark as well. So interesting coverage there, and could be a potential sleeper threat when it comes to setup sweepers. Rapid Spin is always nice, especially because I want to have Rapid Spin specifically, and you'll see why later. And for those who've been around the channel for a while, know what mon I'm going to end up getting. So, moving on. I have my Ghost. I need a Defiant. If you haven't guessed, I'm getting Hazards later, because I love Hazards. I love Hazards. I love Hazards. I love Hazards, especially Spikes. I love Spikes. I already have Spikes in Mew, and Toxic Spikes in Mew. And guess what? I'm going to get some more, and I'm going to make sure that my opponent never wants to get rid of them. With a Ghost blocking Rapid Spin and a Passimian blocking Defog. Whoop. Oh, okay. So yeah, Passimian's really good. Again, just more mons that are really benefiting from this, like this speed gap. This like speed droppage. So, Passimian's really strong. I've used Passimian many, many times in the past, and I just absolutely adore it. It is extremely, ridiculously strong, especially if you give it a Defiant boost. Gets access to close combat, U-turn, good coverage, and stuff like Dark, Poison, the likes of what it needs. Bulk up, Taunt, can run some really interesting sets. But what really drew me was Defiant and U-turn. Of course, Defiant being able to stop people from, or making people not want to click defog as much, and then of course U-turn, because more volt turn is always good. More volt turn on top of spikes is really, really obnoxious, because you're always going to be switching, and then you're always going to be taking hazards, and then something like a Scarf for Simian clicking close combat all of a sudden becomes the biggest threat. So, with that, at this point I decided that it was time to go ahead and grab my sleeper threats, the ones that I thought were really, really tiered lowly, and keep in mind that these tiers are 200 all the way down to 20. So when you see the points for these next two mons, oh boy, I was shocked, I was happy, and I was shocked. But yeah, so we got Pissimian. Next, I wanted one of my sleeper threats, like I said, and with the last two mons, so I got 2 sleeper threats coming up. I have 4 picks left. I have 2 sleeper picks, and the last 2 mons I was really just gonna let be whatever ended up getting to me, really, because after these next 2 mons, I basically had everything that I wanted. So the next mon I ended up getting, if you've been around APA Classic, you know how much I love this mon. I got Rhydon. Rhydon, I think, is so good. So good. Because it's now a hard, extremely hard electric stop. Straight up stop. It has no hidden power grass, no hidden power water. It is amazing. Oh my god. Rhydon got so good. I love Rhydon. Rhydon is extremely good. I think Rhydon is one of the most underrated mons in the format, because a Violite with those defenses is absolutely insane. Of course, it doesn't want to take special hits that well, but it can if it needs to. Gets great attack, so even uninvested, it does basically all the damage you could ever need. Gets access to stuff like Rock Blast, Earthquake, the punches, Stealth Rock, which is very important because this now becomes my second Stealth Rocker my first Stealth Rocker other than just Mew, which is important because, you know, I don't want Mew to be locked into rocks every single week. And I don't mind this being... Fuck! That one! That one! I was doing so good. That one. I don't mind that one being locked into rocks every week. It can be locked into rocks every week, forever, if it wants, because it's just such a good rocker. It also can be a good setup sweeper. Swords Dance and Rock Polish Rhydon sets are nothing to sneeze at. I love it, I love it, I love it. And cost me 40 points. 40 points, second to lowest tier. Rhydon is slept on. Especially with hidden power being gone. But for the next mon, also 40 points, I ended up getting Garbodor. What? What? I love it. 40 points for spikes and toxic spikes from one of my favorite spikers. Holy hell. Hell yes. Hell yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have so much hazard options right now. Even if I only have one rocker outside of Mew, I have double toxic spikes, double spikes, 2 rockers, and I'm going to get one more just to set it off. I didn't get any webs, which is sad because it was the only hazard I was missing. But I mean, I'll take it. I'll take exactly how I have it right now because it's broken. But yeah, I get why people sleep on Garbodor a lot, because it doesn't have the best coverage, and it ends up just being locked into toxic spikes and spikes. But if you really get creative, you can find ways to always make sure that Garbodor does the job it needs to, getting up spikes, and then not being dead weight to the rest of the team, which I've done on multiple occasions. I love Garbodor, and spikes are just so much offensive pressure, especially with a team like this. It's amazing. For my next mon, I wasn't at all ever planning on really picking up this mon in this draft, because I thought it'd be gone. Real talk. That's it. I just thought it would be gone. But it was around. So I was like, I mean, it's there. It's round 9. I don't have a mon of this type. Why not get it? What do I lose from picking up... wrong one. Wrong one. Copperajah. Round 9 Copperajah. I'll take it. Sold. Stealth Rocks. Good steel type. Not the bulkiest, but has the bulk it needs to with the good HP stat. And it is such a terror to switch in. I hate trying to switch into this thing. Sheer Force, Life Orb, Heavy Slam, Heat Crash, Rock Slide, Play Rough, I think, Power Rip. There is no switch in. There is no switch in to this ridiculous threat. I love it. Especially with a potential Trick Room team that I could very well run. My team isn't the fastest. I do have one more Fast Boy as my last pick. But my team could very easily run Trick Room if I really wanted to. And then Copperajah would just go mad. I love Copperajah. It's so strong. I usually am reluctant to use slow breakers. But this you have to make an exception for. It has the bulk it needs to survive hits, and it is just so stupid strong. It is ridiculous how hard this thing can hit sometimes. And it gets me rocks, in case I don't think Rhydon has a good matchup. Boom! I have an elephant. So for my last one, probably shouldn't have grabbed this, and I might end up dropping it. But, like, screw it. It's there. It gave me speed, and it gave me an electric type in Jolteon. I don't think people... I actually think everyone has a ground type, though. Does everyone have a ground type? You have a ground type. 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 And you don't have a ground type. But you do have an electric immunity. Interesting. Anyway. While people do have ground types, this thing still can run some coverage to hit them decently hard. And it was there, honestly. If they don't bring the ground type, this thing clicks full switch. And if they bring a ground type, something like Runerigus, Spec Shadow Ball will 2KO that, which is always nice. So, this is what I ended up drafting. I'm really okay with it. I really like it. It gets me a lot of Volt Turners. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Volt Turners out of 10, which is always good. 3 Rockers, 2 Spikers, 2 Toxic Spikers. You can set up. Technically, Mandibuzz can set up, but you can set up. You kind of can, but it's not really the best setup. You also kind of can, but it's not the best setup. You can set up. You can set up. You can't, and you not really can. So, I have some good setup sweepers. I have some good offense. I do have some nice bulk to fall upon with something like Mandibuzz, plus Rhydon, and with Copper Jaw, and just natural ice resist, and something like Tinteleon, and then, Mew can switch in on ice types really well. I think I'm pretty set to have just about anything I needed for this format. So, Ready to Rock, week 1 will be up, I believe, next week at the same day. So be sure to go check that out. I believe it's the same day. I'm not sure. I don't know when week 1 goes up. I don't know anything. I should probably go finish Pokemon, because I'm actually still haven't beat the champion. Oopsie! I have a lot of work to do. But I hope you guys will enjoy this season. I hope you guys enjoy the battles. Of course, this will be more consistent uploading than something like APA, which I just upload whenever I feel like it. But yeah, that's going to be that. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you all when our week 1 battle versus the one and only GoldoaDragon goes up. Oh, I'm so happy I got week 1 Goldoa. Goldoa is great. I love Goldoa to death. And I'm so glad that I get him week 1. But that battle will be up, I don't know when, but look out for it. If you want to know when it's going to go up, just subscribe and you'll get a notification in your box. Also, in the description will be a link to my Twitch. I stream a lot. Not a lot. I stream a couple times a week. At least I try. I'm actually streaming Fire Emblem 3 Houses right now. So, always show up to that. Love y'all. Love all the support. Love y'all to death. And I will see you guys in the next one for real this time. Peace.